Be ready. Start. We have heard learned counsel for the appellant and the respondents, and we are of the considered opinion that the learned company judge and the division bench of the High Court have not correctly interpreted the provisions of sections 529 and 529A of the Companies Act. A plain reading of clause C of subsection 1 of section 529 makes it clear that in the winding up of an insolvent company, the same rules shall prevail and be observed with regard to the respective rights of secured and unsecured creditors as are in force for the time being under the law of insolvency with respect to the estates of persons adjudged insolvent. This would mean that the respective rights of secured and unsecured creditors of an insolvent company which is being wound up will be the same as the respective rights of secured and unsecured creditors with respect to the estates of persons adjudged insolvent are in force under the law of insolvency. In the state of Jharkhand, the Provincial Insolvency Act 1920, for short, the Insolvency Act, is in force, and accordingly, the respective rights of secured and unsecured creditors with respect to the assets of the insolvent company being wound up will be the same as in the Insolvency Act. The Companies Act does not define a creditor and a secured creditor, and hence we have to refer to the Insolvency Act for the definitions of these two words. Section 2 1A and Section 2 1E of the Insolvency Act define the words creditor and unsecured creditor. It will be clear from the definition of creditor in section 2(1)(a) of the Insolvency Act that it is an inclusive and not an exhaustive definition, whereas it will be clear from the definition of secured creditor in section 2(1)(e) of the Insolvency Act that it is an exhaustive definition and that a secured creditor means a person holding a mortgage, charge or lien on the property of the debtor or any part thereof as a security for a debt due to him from the debtor. The result is that the expression secured creditor in section 529 1C would mean a person who holds a mortgage, charge or lien on the property of the company or any part thereof as a security for a debt due to him from the company. Where, therefore, a creditor such as the bank or the financial institution in this case does not hold a mortgage, charge or lien on the property of the company or any part thereof as a security for a debt due to it from the company, it is not a secured creditor for the purposes of sections 529 and 529A of the Companies Act. Sections 45 and 47 of the Insolvency Act, which enumerate the rights of unsecured creditors and secured creditors, says that a creditor may prove for a debt not payable when the debtor is adjudged an insolvent as if it were payable presently and may receive dividends equally with the other creditors, deducting therefrom only a rebate of interest at the rate of 6% per annum computed from the declaration of a dividend to the time when the debt would have become payable according to the terms on which it was contracted. Whereas a secured creditor realizes his security he may prove for the balance due to him after deducting the net amount realized. On a reading of the true provisions quoted above, we find that an unsecured creditor is entitled under Section 45 of the Insolvency Act to receive dividends equally with the other creditors, whereas the secured creditor has the right under Section 47 of the Insolvency Act to realize the security and to prove for the balance due to him in case on realization of such security he is not able to recover the entire amount due to him. If, however, the secured creditor does not opt to realize his security but relinquishes it for the general benefit of the creditors, then he may prove for his whole debt. Under the Insolvency Act, therefore, the secured creditor has only a right over the particular property offered to him as security, and all the creditors have equal rights over the other properties comprising the estate of the person adjudged insolvent. In our considered opinion, therefore, on a reading of the provisions of Clause C of subsection 1 of Section 529 of the Companies Act, along with the provisions of the Insolvency Act relating to the respective rights of secured and unsecured creditors, a secured creditor of an insolvent company which is being wound up has only a right over the particular property or asset of the company offered to the secured creditor as a security, and the unsecured creditors have rights over all other properties or assets of the insolvent company. Thank you.